what advice would you give to parents who are growing young men or young boys at home? What do you think? Because of you did mention that these things and these conversation and teaching needs to start in early ages, so that we can deal with the tradition, we can deal with so what kind of advice or your thinking around it that needs to happen?
I mean, I think my first thought is to create a space where there is equality, first and foremost. To raise your boy to not think he's better than anyone else. Not another boy, not another woman, another person of socioeconomic class or gender preference. I think it really does start with understanding your own divine beauty, and that is sufficient, and that you don't have to overpower another person. But that's just my first thought on the surface about where one could start as a starting point. And I think it's a topic that gets spoken about so much, self-love, but truly I do believe that a human being, male, female, doesn't matter, that truly loves themselves and understands their contribution to this earth would have no reason to take from another. And so I think on a deep level, we need to start loving our children before we have expectations and we shouting and we isolate and we discriminate. Like you say, you have 3 boys. You don't know how they're going to turn out, what their personalities will be and what their choices will be in this life. But they should feel that they are safe to be that person. And that pent-up aggression has a place, has an outlet. And I think a lot of it is rejection. A lot of people face rejection and it gets transmuted in the body into aggression. And that gets taken out on someone who is maybe physically or emotionally weaker. So I do think also finding a place for that outlet and making that a priority, that your boys are expressing themselves creatively or physically and emotionally, whatever outlet they require, so that they can always come back to and reevaluate where they're at. That self-knowledge, because sometimes you don't know what's going on with you and you have no way to express it, and then it comes out in a not constructive way. And I think an outlet is also something that you can apply.
Thank you, Anne. And Vuvu?
With me, I would say it would start Glanda or eating Dodaikali. Like at home, we have a 2-year-old. He's used to having females in the house because uhlala endlini. When boys come from outside and they play with him, older boys, they would tell him when he's crying, "Uyimofi, sukhala, uyimofi." So it starts there, because already endlini we have created that environment whereby if he needs to cry, he must cry. Even at this young age, he needs to be able to express himself in whatever way he needs to. If he feels like he should take a doll, and play with it and feed it like young girls would do, then that's okay for him. It doesn't make him more feel like the other boys would say he is. If he wants to play with iskuta saike, let him be. And with also having conversations like this in the family, starting from umama umdala, umakhulu, to the youngest, so that seed is installed at the young age already. At home you want to be comfortable. You want to wear shorts, you just want to be you. But what I find is that at home, when I'm wearing shorts, even with my grandmother, she looks at me in that way. Should you be wearing that? I'm like, Mama, it's endlini. So if I can't wear shorts endlini,
then you wear.
Exactly. So now, if I'm going out now, I need to build that strength of saying, okay, I don't care today. Let me just wear my shorts. Whoever whistles in the road, I don't care. So it's all about starting it at home, having these conversations, letting them know that it's okay to cry. If you need something, if you need to speak your truth and nothing but the truth.
Wow.
I just want to add also.
Yes, please.
I think there's this big taboo around sexuality as well, and understanding our bodies and our urges and the natural processes. And that information isn't maybe freely given or discussed at home. So we go and we find this information sometimes in the wrong places. And I do think it could be helpful also to open that space within the home space. And I mean, not everybody has a supportive family or is even living with family, but even then within the friends group or whatever, where we can talk about the natural processes and what is unnatural, you know, and what is not supposed to happen, so that we can also foster what is love, what does love look like, you know, and it's not this societal construct, an idea of love. I think that's a big part of it, which comes back to even the same thing about self-love. Yeah. But this taboo thing even around, if we know someone has been raped, we're not going to speak about it. We're going to pretend it didn't happen, you know. And I think that's a big part of the problem as well, is that we can't freely heal through the traumas that have happened to our ancestors, to our grandmothers, to our mothers, to where we are right now. You know, that conversation it's like it must be done in silence, you know. And it's a shame, yeah. And I do think a big part is being able to discuss it openly and constantly, yeah.
Oh, well. Thank you, Anne, and thank you, Vuvu. Thank you so much for being generous also in engaging with the topic, it's a very difficult topic. I can imagine, you know, particularly that the man is actually engaging with this topic and engaging with you, and, you know. So thank you so much. Any last words to close off this conversation?
I love that you're interviewing us, and I think that more men should be part of this conversation and should have a seat at the table and take a moment to listen. And so, yeah, I'm grateful to be here in this space with you, Budmandla, and thank you for this platform.
Thank you.
I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to speak my truth, and may you continue with what you have planted already, and
yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. I was about to ask any messages for the society out there and women out there or people out there, like one word or two or three, and then I realized that maybe that should be what you've just said should be fine. Ne? Okay. Enkosi kakhulu siyabonga. Thank you so much. Bye, thank you.